Live from the WDIO broadcast studios, this is Eyewitness News at 10 on channels 10 and 13.
Good evening, I'm Dennis Anderson. You, the voters, have spoken, and the field of candidates has been narrowed for next month's general election. Here's a look at what happened tonight in the Duluth mayoral race. Keep in mind the results are never official until they have been certified. Now, with all 36 of the city's precincts reporting, the top two vote getters are Charlie Bell and Don Ness, who will move on to the November general election. Bell got 6,769 votes, and Ness came in second with 5,224. They are followed by incumbent Herb Bergson with 3,056. Greg Gilbert had 2,886, and Meg Bai with 2,055. Following them in order of results is Joanne Fay, Jim Pratt, Reiner Nelson, Sonny Helbucka, John Sosha, and Robert Wagner. Let's go live to Mr. D's Bar and Grill on Grant Avenue in West Duluth, where city reporter Kim Johnson is live with Charlie Bell, who's come out with the highest number of votes in tonight's primary race for mayor. Kim, there is jubilation there tonight.
Oh, Denny, I mean, look at this crowd behind me. It's really unbelievable. There's a lot of excited faces and folks here tonight, including this guy, Mr. Charlie Bell. Charlie, how does it feel? You have a third of the vote.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's absolutely great, and I thank all the voters for coming out and supporting us. This is a mandate for change.
Okay, now in the 2003 primary, you came in second to the current mayor, Herb Bergson. In this race, you not only beat him, but you got 2,000 more votes than you did in the last primary. What's different this time?
Well, coming in first place is a lot more fun.
Okay. All right, well, we've been here before. You have run a primary before. This is not new. This is a moment to celebrate, obviously, but it's not victory. What's your strategy from here on out?
Well, we'll certainly step back and lay down some plans going forward, but I think it'll be a lot of fun for the citizens, especially seeing two candidates and facing them one against one, and then they can look at the differences. And this is what it's all about, and this is going to take 2 months, and people can have the time because this is so important. This is so important for Duluth. We are at a crossroads, and we have to be able to look at the candidates, pick out a true leader to lead us forward, to solve the challenges that we have, and then to create the opportunities we know that we should have in Duluth. Duluth is a wonderful city.
Okay, all right. Well, congratulations, Charlie Bell. All right, Denny, we're live here at Mr. D's with Charlie Bell, the winner of this year's primary race. Back to you.
All right, Kim, thank you very much. Now, as you know, Duluth has a history of good voter turnout, and despite today's high winds, we had plenty of sunshine. This was no exception. A lot of voters. A strong mayor's race with 11 total candidates brought large numbers of the city's registered voters to the polls. Now, as we mentioned, Don Ness came in second place tonight, so he too will be moving on in the November general election for a contest between himself and Charlie Bell. Sandy Dragg is with Ness at his campaign headquarters. Sandy?
Have gapped.
Apparently we're having a little bit of microphone problem there with you, Sandy. We're going to try again. We did hear you there for a moment, so might want to just check your cord there at your microphone. Now, if you just tuned in, Charlie Bell and Don Ness came in on top in the Duluth mayoral election. They're going to be facing off in the November general election. There were 11 candidates still in the running when the polls opened this morning. The other results are as follows: Herb Bergson, Greg Gilbert, Meg Bai, Joanne Fay, Jim Pratt, Reiner Nelson, Sonny Helbucka, John Sosha, and Robert Wagner. Joining me to talk about tonight's primary is Dr. Ralph Doty, a former Minnesota State Senator, college president, and currently a Duluth Budgeteer newspaper columnist and a KDAL radio broadcaster. Dr. Doty, welcome. Any surprises?
Well, a couple of surprises. First of all, I fully expected that Charlie Bell and Don Ness would finish very strong, and they did. I guess what surprised me a little bit was that Charlie Bell finished as strong as he did in both the East and the West. That's not to take away anything from him, but it was a bit of a surprise. But again, I'm not at all surprised to see both Don Ness and Charlie Bell finish. Two other quick surprises. I was surprised that Herb Bergson did so poorly. He didn't get one precinct, as I understand the return so far. I think all the waffling on his part and the kind of in-your-face confrontational kind of politics did not work. Surprise number three was that Greg Gilbert, a labor union person who got strong support from the unions did so poorly after all the work they did. I had talked to one person this morning who told me she got 3 calls from labor unions, including a representative in Washington, D.C., on behalf of Greg Gilbert, and he still did very poorly.
How will tonight's results change the city of Duluth politically?
Well, I think in some ways labor has been somewhat weakened by the poor showing of Greg Gilbert. They'll still be very influential. I do think that labor, most of its endorsements went down the tube. The only labor union endorsement that I know of went to Charlie Bell, who got the endorsement of the police members union. All the others went to Greg Gilbert. So I think labor unions will be a little bit less influential. The other thing that I think is going to change is I think we're going to see with the candidacies of 2 very shall we say, even-tempered kinds of candidates, Don Ness and Charlie Bell.
All right,
those
Doctor.
2 men are going to do extremely well. No in-your-face confrontations coming out.
All right, Dr. Ralph Doty, thank you very much. Now, as we mentioned before, Don Ness did come in 2nd place tonight, so he's moving on in the November general election. Let's go back now to Sandy Drake. Sandy?
Denny, a small group of supporters have gathered here to watch the results come in, and actually I've seen a lot of well-wishers come in over the last hour as it became clear that Don Ness will advance in this race. Joined by the man himself now. How are you feeling?
Feeling just fine, yeah, thanks, Sandy.
What do you think about winning?
Well, I'm very pleased that we made it through the primary, and obviously I'm very proud of our campaign team. We've been working hard since April. We won this race by getting out into the neighborhoods and talking to people on their doorstep and talking about the issues that they care about. And you know, we didn't have a lot of media, but we made up for it in other ways.
Let's talk about the union. Both you and Bell don't have a lot of union backing in this race, and you made it through. What does that say about the mindset of Duluth voters?
Well, I'm pleased that we had a lot of support from working families in Duluth, and a lot of the rank and file were on our side, and I'm pleased with that. And that's going to grow as we move forward to the general election. I have a strong union record. We've had our disagreements, and unfortunately, because of those disagreements, we've lost some support in the primary election. I'm going to stay true to my principles and the issues that I feel strongly about, but at the same time, I think when union people and working people in Duluth look at my overall record, they're going to see that I've been supportive in the past, and I want them on our team.
So how do you go about getting them on your team at this point in the race?
Well, I think we stay true to our positive message. You know, we've been talking about the honoring the complexity of the issues before us and being respectful and open and kind of providing a different approach to politics, a more positive and forward-looking approach to politics. And I think that's what resonates with the voters. They want a new approach, and that's what we represent.
All right, Don Ness, congratulations.
Sandy.
Don Ness, he pulls in, I have the number here, 5,224 votes, a close second to Charlie Bell. And Denny, this is going to be an interesting race.
That it will. Thank you very much, Sandy. Reporter Brady Smith got a chance to speak with Greg Gilbert, who came in 4th place in the polls. Brady, what did Gilbert have to say about his performance tonight?
Denny, I'm joined by Greg Gilbert here. Greg, thank you for joining us, first of all.
Thank you.
Now, tell me what's going through your head right now. You're coming in at about preliminary results showing you're about 4th place in the polls this evening. This has got to be kind of a disappointment for you. This is the 3rd time you've run for mayor, 2nd time you haven't made it to the general election. What's going through your head right now?
Well, I congratulate Don and Charlie. They did a good campaign, and I think they did very well, and so I congratulate them. My heartfelt thanks to everyone that worked so hard. I mean, we had so many people that were dropping literature and waving signs and going door to door for us and doing all the kinds of work. And so when I like this, I just feel very blessed by having that kind of help. And I love meeting the people of the city of Duluth. I mean, I just had a thoroughly good time. I love the people of this community. And that's politics.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've got certainly a long history in city politics. Do you see yourself running for mayor again in the future?
I just not at a point now where I can make any decisions, but I just congratulate Charlie and Don, and they did a good job, and they deserve it, and I wish them well in the general election and running the city.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Gilbert.
Thank you, Brady. Thanks.
Denny, that was Greg Gilbert coming in at about 4th place. Preliminary results showing that he's coming in about 4th place in the polls for 2007 primary elections. Back to you.
All right, Brady, thank you. Now, reporter Cassie Limpert spoke with candidate Meg Bai, who came in 5th place. Bai was at the Holiday Center in downtown Duluth, surrounded by her supporters.
All right, Meg, I know this is kind of a disappointing night. How are you feeling right now?
Well, of course I'm disappointed, but it has been an incredible run, and the people that have supported me have been just wonderful. I've learned so much about this city. I'm so enthused about the possibilities that are going to happen in Duluth, and I wish I could be part of it, but this is what the voters have said.
Now, do you have any idea of who you're going to put your support now, Charlie Bell or Don Ness?
I haven't thought about that.
Okay. And tell me, what's next in your political career?
Well, I didn't have any backup plan, so I have to think about that a bit. My plan was to go for it 100%. I did. It didn't turn out the way I had expected, but who knows what'll turn up next.
And any words for your supporters tonight?
Just thank you. You're wonderful. You make Duluth what it should be.
Is there anything you would have changed about your campaign? Anything you would have done differently to get different results?
Well, it would have been nice to have a little more money.
That's it?
I don't want to go over and second guess everything right now.
All right. Denny, back to you.
All right, Cassie, thank you. Here now are the results in the Duluth City Council races for City Council at large, with Hall, Little, Anderson, and Cuno advancing in November. Becky Hall had 8,161. Tim Little had 5,854 votes. Jeff Anderson, 5,774. And Tony Cuno, 5,177. Again, those council at large, with Hall, Little, Anderson, and Cuno advancing into the November election. In the City Council 3rd District, 2 people advanced. They are Charlotte Gardner with 1,549 and Heather Rand with 70 votes, 970, and John Rathie had 490. And in the City Council 5th District, Russ Stover came out on top with 46% of the vote. He had 1,480. Jay Fossil, 1,235. And Alan Boulier with 486.